So in our story of dealing with the prodigal, as he's called, and incidentally, we should state that I should state that I don't think that's the best word for this. Prodigal infers that this is a story of a boy that's getting saved. But I think it's much deeper than that, even though the latter part of the story will say, my son that was lost is now found, and it infers salvation. I think it's much deeper than that, in that the pure aspects of this story could not be his salvation, because he was not just birthed by the Father when he came out of the hog pen. Far from it, he was already birthed before he went into the hog pen. So the fact is, he was a son of that Father before he had this ordeal. Therefore, this is not an ordeal of him being saved for the first time. It's an ordeal where the circumstances and the situations of life are working in his life to bring him to the understanding of who he is in this family, what he is to be in this family, how he's to operate in this family. But I believe he was saved. I believe that he had to go into the hog pen to find out who he was. And so the deeper message is there also if you want to seek it out. And that's what we're attempting to do now. What we want to show in this message is that being saved keeps us out of hell, but it doesn't necessarily get what the Father wants. The Father just doesn't want sons. He'd like to have sons that are akin to his spirit, akin to his nature. So in the Christ life, the Lord has given us very pointedly that message. We know that when we are birthed, we take the nature of God on us, and that Christ's Spirit comes into us. The word Spirit is more than just the nature of God in operation, or in us, the nature of God in us. It also means that our outworking has the Spirit of the Father in it. Our expression has the Spirit of the Father in it. And that's really what God wants. So the whole of the plan of God is us coming to the intention of what God's original purpose was. His original purpose is that he have sons who have his nature, who will live in his house in time. Well, most of us are not ready to live in the Father's house. Most of us could not be saved with the issue of love being the main issue, and us not come to this learning or understanding. So what happened to us is that God did save us, put his nature in us, and asked that we bring ourselves under subjection to this new nature, Christ in us. That would make us a Christian or a Christ person, Christ our very life. This would make us indeed what God's intention was. But to get that, he left us on this earth in what basically is our hog pen, bringing us to that understanding and knowledge. So the whole of this life is a training session. The whole of this world is a schoolhouse. The whole of every incident in our lives points to Christ, who is our life, that we might in him live and move and have our being.